Hello and welcome to Race for the White House, a show where we get you the latest from the US election. Finally, America has chosen its leader and brought back one of its most controversial presidents, Donald Trump. So tonight we'll tell you the secret that gave Trump a landslide victory in the polls. Also on the show we'll tell you why America is not ready for a woman president yet. All of this and much more, so let's get started. In a comeback that's shaking up the history books, Donald Trump has defied all odds, all controversies and, well, every political rule in the playbook. After a hectic campaign, Trump has clinched victory over Kamala Harris and is now officially returning to the White House. See, just a few years ago, many thought that his political career was over, sealed and stamped, but today, Trump is back. The president-elect declared his victory in a speech from Florida. The 47th president expressed that he had masterminded the greatest political movement of all time while pledging to help the USA heal.
America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's good. And the Senate races in Montana, Nevada, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, were all won by the MAGA movement. They helped so much.
Now, Donald Trump's road back to the presidency was anything but ordinary. He's been scrutinized, banned from social media, and even indicted. But for his supporters, none of that seemed to matter. In fact, some say the tougher the road, the stronger his base became. And with unprecedented energy, his campaign turned what once seemed impossible into the political story of the century. And what about Kamala Harris? Well, she put up a strong fight, no doubt about it. Her message of inclusion and progress resonated, and her campaign made significant strides, especially in urban areas. But in the end, it wasn't enough to hold back the Trump tide that swept across battleground states with astonishing force. So how exactly did Trump pull off this comeback? Well, Trump rallied his base like never before. His America First agenda struck a chord once again. His rallies became a phenomenon, packing stadiums coast to coast with fans waving flags, chanting and yes, sporting those infamous MAGA caps. Another thing that worked for Trump was his engagement with younger voters. His engagement with online content creators on podcast shows and his involvement of TikTok brought him the younger voters and Gen Z vote as well. Moreover, Trump found ways to stay in the spotlight. From legal battles to social media restrictions, he launched his own media platform, unleashing a torrent of viral videos and made sure that his voice echoed far and wide. Now, Trump's comebacks isn't just a win. It's a reinvention of his entire political brand. For a man who's no stranger to controversies, he managed to flip his story, turning every challenge into a rallying cry. Now, this comeback not only reshapes the political landscape but leaves us all wondering, what's next? And now for more on this, our executive editor Geeta Mohan has sent us this report from Florida.
President Trump came over here at the convention center where the watch party of the GOP was going on, and immediately after most channels called Trump's victory, he came out, and this is the message that he very clearly put out, which is he is going to fix it. Fix all the issues that they've been talking about for the past 4 years. And the celebration over here continues. There's dancing that's happening. People are really happy. How happy are you?
I'm not happy, I'm overjoyed.
Okay.
This is so much joy. This is so much joy.
Now comes
You know
the
what?
Jubilee. Now comes the Jubilee.
All of this hard work that this president have been with this movement,
Save the nation.
God has answered our prayer. God has answered our prayer.
Okay, those are
Think it's
emotional moments there.
He answered our prayers. He saved our Constitution. God saved this man to save our country, to save our Constitution, to save our rights, our freedoms. It means everything to us as a nation,
Yes,
as a country,
yes.
as a people. It's a miracle. It's God's miracle.
This is my back. Let's say everything.
Oh, God save Trump. Okay, that's That's significant message that's coming. So a lot of people very excited. What about you?
Oh my gosh! Oh Jesus! Thank you, Jesus! This is the best night ever. You know, I think we got more than we expect and we prayed for. We got it all. Yeah, so we're so happy, excited to get our country back and put it back and even greater than it was before. So
Okay. Thank you. But in terms of messaging, he spoke a lot. So let's just ask whether if the speech, guys, you heard the president-elect, the 47th president-elect. Is there anything that you'd like to add to what the president said? Any of you? Okay. The boys over here are very shy. Let's just see if... you heard the president-elect, the 47th president-elect. What was the biggest thing that you thought he said?
Oh my goodness, well, being part of the campaign staff, I think that everything he said was incredible and amazing.
Okay. And what about you?
What was the question?
What is the biggest takeaway from the president's speech today?
I think the biggest takeaway from the president's speech is that America is going to get back to being the great country that it was, that it can be, and that it will be.
That's great. That's the message that everybody's taking home, that he's going to fix it, that America is going to become great again. We've seen there was a sea of red caps with MAGA written on it, and there you go, make America great again. And it was a sea across this convention center. It's a very strong message. He is the 47th president-elect, and Kamala Harris is yet to concede. The first indications of her losing this election came when her campaign officer came out and declared that she is not going to address the people tonight, that it's going to happen tomorrow. So the decision has been made by America. America has decided. We'll have to wait and see which way the country is going to go under President Trump. At the Palm Beach Convention Center in Florida, Geeta Mohan reporting for India Today Global.
Moving on, now for many this election wasn't just about policy or personality. It was about breaking a historic barrier. But as the results rolled in, one thing became painfully clear. America was once again not ready for a woman president. As the final votes were counted, it was Donald Trump who emerged as the winner, marking a profound moment in American history and perhaps raising a tougher question. Is America truly ready for a woman to hold the highest office in the land? Well, our next report gives you more details. Kamala Harris has probably just fumbled the biggest bag of her political career with decisive loss against Donald Trump. It will only be a matter of time before hundreds of political pundits start picking apart her campaign, telling the masses what went wrong and how she could have done it better. Now, in the middle of all these discussions, one question sets itself apart. Was America actually ever ready to elect a woman president? Let's decode. For over 2 centuries now, the US presidency has been an exclusive boys' club with 46 presidents who were all men. Kamala Harris was the first woman of color to be nominated by a major party, making her candidacy groundbreaking. But history casts a long shadow, and many voters still cling to outdated notions about leadership being a man's job. A recent poll by The Economist and YouGov stated that 57% of voters believe that America is ready to elect a woman president. But this did not reflect on the US polls. Many voters might say that they support the idea of a woman president but hesitate when it comes to casting ballot in the voting pool. Now, this suggests that certain gender biases continue to challenge the political careers of female candidates. Many voters still associate leadership with traditional male traits, viewing women as less competent, leading to what is known as pragmatic bias, the belief that voting for a woman is impractical due to this widespread stereotype. Now, media plays a huge role in shaping public perception. Women candidates often face scrutiny over their appearance and emotions rather than their policies. Now, this can create narrative that undermines their credibility. If we want to see women in power, we need to change how they're portrayed in the media. Less focus on hair and outfits and more on ideas and policies. Now coming back to the question, is America ready for a woman president? The answer isn't straightforward. While there is growing support and changing attitudes, deep-seated biases and societal expectations still pose challenges. What we can do, however, in this situation is to put more and more women in leadership roles. We need to keep pushing boundaries and changing minds because representation matters. Now, America might not be fully ready yet, but with each election cycle and each conversation we have, we get closer to breaking the glass ceiling for good. So as the dust settles on the historic win for Republicans and the major debacle for Democrats, we also have to understand that this election was not about who won or lost the top spot. It has a much wider repercussion, both for the country and the world. So who are the biggest winners and the losers from the US presidential election? So starting with the winners, Elon Musk is a major beneficiary of Trump's victory. Yes, the Tesla and SpaceX billionaire, known for his bold ideas and even bolder tweets, is shaping up to be one of the biggest winners of this election. Now, Trump's administration has been continuously championing pro-business policies, and this will give Musk's ventures in space, tech, and even social media a major boost. From energy to transportation, Trump's focus on America First innovation and industry aligns closely with Musk's big picture ambitions. Moreover, Musk had a lot at stake on the Republicans given his gradual allegiance and staunch support for Donald Trump. So as Trump celebrates his return to the Oval Office, Musk may be just celebrating his own presidential win in the business world and a possible position in the Trump administration. Another major winner is Trump's running mate and the new Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance. Now, the venture capitalist turned populist firebrand has positioned himself as one of the key figures in the new Republican landscape, and this election victory could not have given his influence a serious boost. His evolution from author to venture capitalist to US Senator and now Vice President shows a rapid rise that reflects a remarkable journey. So what's next for the Vice President-elect? As he prepares to take office, many expect him to have a powerful influence in Washington. Well, who knows, Vance might very well be the predecessor to the 47th president. Now, another major winner from Trump's victory was Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now, RFK Jr. initially launched his own independent campaign, but soon threw his support behind Trump, knowing very well that he could not make his way as an independent. And now Trump has previously highlighted that RFK Jr. will have a big role to play in healthcare in his administration. However, it's still unclear what exactly Kennedy's role would look like. Now, coming to the losers. Well, there are many losers from the Democratic camp, but perhaps the biggest loser is the outgoing President Joe Biden. Now, Biden may have failed on multiple fronts, but as the leader of the party, his job was to keep Trump away from the White House. But Biden failed to cement his legacy as leader who would be remembered for years to come. And now, more than his bold decisions and strong leadership qualities, America's 46th Commander-in-Chief will be remembered for his gaffes and hasty withdrawal from the presidential race. Now, another big loser from this election outcome is sitting far away from Washington but makes a visit every now and then. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Now, many believe that the result of US presidential election could decide Ukraine's fate in its fight against Russia. And both Harris and Trump's positions on continuing to support Ukraine with weaponry are in stark contrast. But now, with Trump back in the White House, things aren't looking good for Zelensky. Now, Trump has previously blamed Zelensky for the war and believes that he will have the war settled on or before Inauguration Day. However, Zelensky believes that any quick resolution to the war would invariably involve massive concessions to Putin. But under the Trump administration, the supply of billions of dollars and ammunition might come to a halt. And finally, the most embarrassing loser of this election is the Hollywood elite. From Taylor Swift to Oprah and so many more, almost 1/4 of Hollywood star power rallied behind Harris. From fundraisers and endorsements to social media blitz, they made it clear where they stood. But with Trump clinching the presidency, it seems the star-studded campaign could not sway enough voters. These voices in entertainment have used their influence to push for progressive policies, but this election shows that their sway may not be as powerful as they thought. And in the end, this election has taught us that nothing in American politics is predictable. The winners and losers of 2024 have reshaped the landscape, bringing new energy and new divides. And the only thing that we know for sure is that America's next 4 years are going to be anything but boring. And well, there you have it. Donald Trump is officially headed back to the White House, marking one of the most remarkable comebacks in the political history of the United States. From rallies to headlines to debate stages, this race has kept us all on the edge of our seats. But tonight we're closing a chapter that's sure to go down in history books as Kamala Harris steps back and Trump steps forward to begin his second act as the President of the United States. Well, that's all we have for you in this edition of Race for the White House. Stay tuned to India Today Global.